Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Thursday Night Fights. I believe this is episode 26 at this point. As you may be able to figure out, it's not actually Thursday Night Fights for this one. It's technically Friday afternoon fights. But for those of you who come to the streams pretty frequently, you'll know that recently my girlfriend and I were dealing with COVID, and we are testing negative now, but I was quite exhausted last night and didn't get the chance to do this when I wanted, so it got put off about 20 hours or so. To be honest, Friday Night Fight sounds a little bit better than Thursday Night Fights, but originally I was doing the Friday calming ASMR missions and everything. So for today, we are going to do practice PvP or PvAI from beta 6.0.4. Traditionally, the Thursday night videos that I've done were filmed using beta 5.9, which is a closed beta. This is being filmed in beta 6.04. Beta 6 access is still closed at this point, although Basil Mudkip just recently won a contest to grant him access to beta 6. So he has been added to the beta testing team. Anytime somebody wins one of those contests, they are added to the beta team permanently rather than just for a specific beta. So beta 6 is not out yet. There is no ETA, but things are still progressing as we have had several minor patches since beta 6 started. We've had the 01, the 02, the 03, and now 04. You will notice when we get into combat that scrolling combat text is a little bit slower than normal. That is because the development team fixed a bug where Unity was scrolling combat at the speed of your monitor, so that if you had a really good monitor that was like 120 hertz and had either like AMD FreeSync or the NVIDIA G-Sync, it was scrolling so fast that it was causing some bugs in the game, so the team fixed that. Unfortunately, they fixed it perhaps a little bit too conservative, a little bit too slow, so when the next beta comes out, there's actually going to be a toggle where we can set the scrolling combat speed to be the quicker version or the slower version. So, some people have been asking about, can we see what PvP would be like on day 1 in beta 6? To kind of explain that, you won't be PvPing on day 1 when beta 6 releases, because you have to go through a certain point in the story, which I believe is maybe somewhere in chapter 7, before the tournaments unlock. However, you can do practice matches, and that's what we are doing today. As you can see, I am level 23, and my resources are pretty solid. Gold is, of course, a limiting factor, which is what it should be. I've already spent gold on picking up the rocket pistol and the booster sledge. 138 command points, sitting pretty with 406k silver, and 651 or maybe 861 shield points over there. The ISOs are good, of course. The PvP energy is rather crazy. So I'm bringing Spider-Woman and Doctor Strange into this. I was going to bring in Cyclops for the flanked, but he is training right now and he is not exactly pickable. So I'm going to bring Doctor Strange for some healing. I'm going to bring Spider-Woman for the mind control. My weapons will be the rocket pistol, the Loki scepter, and the butcher's blade. I'm not really supposed to have this booster sledge equipped, as I cannot use 4 items at the level that I'm at. When I do PvE, in PvP, there's a little bit of a bug where you can select the 4th item even though you're not supposed to, and I'm using a generalist suit. So it is locked, which is good. So even though I can pick it, I am locked out of it. It looks like I'm facing an agent with the hidden blade, which I think no longer crashes, Sif, and Black Cat. So it seems to be a bleed team. Black Cat is perhaps the most threatening over here because of her stacks of bleed. So I'm going to go for her first. And Black Cat is immediately out of there. My agent is running 3 ISOs at this point in time. He's running, I think, 2 steadies and a red that gives attack and accuracy. Since the infiltrator is dead, where I would have done a venom blast into a brawl on that, I think I'm going to mind control Sif and hopefully the enemy agent. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the fear pheromones. The mind control is level 9. I don't really know if Spider-Woman's level 6 is working yet. I don't think I've seen an attack get interrupted. The agent did not gain a tactical advantage from stabbing Doctor Strange, so I kind of got lucky on that one. And this is exactly why Beta 6 is not available to the public right now. As you can see, there are still some things that need to be worked on. One of which you could see below is that I gained 0 experience. If I was to take a fight very briefly and gain experience from that fight, so I'll just go over here, do a quick little fast combat. As you could see, the rocket pistol at this stage in the game is definitely murder on a stick. It is really, really good. Also, if you get lucky enough to get the Loki Scepter from the Daily Spinners, that is also super, super handy. It is sort of one of those things where the best defense is a good offense. And that comes from the fact that if you can get enemies to attack each other and not you, then of course that's just a benefit for you. You'll notice that my Hawkeye is the Heroic Age Hawkeye for the second uniform. Yes, his passives do work. I have been using him on stream this week, and his extra arrows and his debuff arrows were working just fine. Iron Fist's combo blocker, combo breaker, does seem to be working. However, it's not actually interrupting. He is doing it, he is landing the attacks and everything, but it's not actually stopping the attack. Okay, so we've got 4 more fights to go. We are 1-0 so far, and it looks like we are dealing with a Tactician bruiser setup with basically a Gamma team. That's Agent Broccoli. I've seen his name before. I'm going to go ahead and open up with the Blaster attacking Hulk to get crits. Hopefully Hulk does not go for Spider-Woman, and he does. But he is going to be out of there before he gets his next attack. So, ooh, wow, that's a 2 for 1. Poor She-Hulk over here is in a world of hurt. She's in a lot of trouble. Even though she does have 1 stack of rage, I'm not really expecting much. Point of technicality, would you think that Stomp would not actually hit a flyer? Because to me, I would think that the Stomp damage is coming from stomping the ground, not hitting the person on the way to the stomp, but maybe that's me. As you can see, I now am gaining experience. That's because I took a PvE fight before I took a PvA fight. PvAI fight. Alright. 2-0 so far, 3 to go. Ooh, I think that is... So they are using a Grecian Sai and a Saber-Tooth Claw. That is not... That is a Golden Katana, I believe. And we've got a Wolverine and a Black Cat. This is scary, but I think the Rocket Pistol will take Black Cat out. Wolverine jumps in. So as you could see, the jump-in tanking is working again in Beta 6, where it had fallen apart in 5.9. It's not working correctly. We have 2 infiltrators for Spider-Woman to go to town with, and instead of doing the fear pheromones, I'm just going to go ahead and get that scrapper bonus. I think Black Cat will die to dots. Yep, okay. So, crisis averted on this one. Yeah, crisis definitely averted. I don't have anything equipped in my armory. I should show that. I am running no bonuses here. Not until I start the tournament will I start slotting. That's when I will start slotting the armory items in. And as of right now, I don't have any dedicated PvP items in there. I mean, I'm sure I could buy grenades and start slotting them in. They're okay. There's one. So there's an example. I now have 157 bonus to offense, 78 defense. Okay, infiltrator agent with the cryotonfa, a tactician Captain America, and a blaster Doctor Strange over here. So they definitely have one advantage, and I have one advantage. I'm going to go for Cap, simply because I don't want his tactician bonus hanging around against my blaster. And Cap is out of the picture. You gotta kind of feel sorry for the AI going up against this rocket pistol. And Jesus, even Doctor Strange. I mean, this is... Doctor Strange and my agent are both getting extremely good putaways over here. And Doctor Strange is going to die to dots. Really, I shouldn't have Spider-Woman in right now because it's her level 9 as to why I'm using her. Between the Loki Scepter and the level 9, you could really screw up the enemy's team, their actions. However, with having the 9 not unlocked yet, she's a little less useful than I intended, but I'm going to stay with it. The biofeedback is just a good dot to go along with the bleeding and the burning. So we've got Asgardians over here. There goes Doctor Strange's crits, which he's going to use to get Sif out. And still no need for a Terrorzing boost yet, so I'll go with the Vapors of Baltor. Enemy agent uses an offensive accelerator. But unfortunately, at this stage of the game, a lot of good gadgets like that are not quick action. And because of that, I just tend to eschew them. I avoid them because I don't like losing a turn for the buff. And that goes for PvP and PvE. When the quick action ones start rolling in, that's when I would be more likely to use them. But at this point, I feel the waste of a turn just isn't worth it. Okay, at this point I think we need just one more and then we will have our 5, and it looks like we've got Luke as a scrapper, a tactician Agent Scrappy-Doo, and a bruiser Colossus. So one favor for me, one favor for him. Yeah, pretty even. Who would be the biggest threat here? The collapsing infrastructure from Luke Cage could be pretty bad. I'll go for him first. I may regret it. It should maybe be the agent because he's a tactician. Oh, that's right. He doesn't do it on... Okay. May as well go for him anyway since he's so close to death. I thought, and I know I'm thinking of the worthy side of him, where he has the meteor stacks, but I also thought he did a collapsing infrastructure kind of thing, where debris will continue to rain down on my heads, and I got lucky that I didn't proc the enemy agent's tactical turn, so Doctor Strange is just mopping up over here, even though he shouldn't be. And we get a Butcher's Blade for the put away. The Butcher's Blade, if you are lucky to get it when you see it on the spinner, it is a pretty handy piece of gear due to the fact that it has that... Oh, it's still saying... Yeah, see, it's still saying the rocket pistol, which is a little bit buggy. it has that black pudding where it has the chance to reduce the damage taken and everything like that. I don't know specifically if it actually works the way it's intended, but it is a handy item, and if you are using somebody like Wolverine, who can increase the damage of slashing attacks, then the Butcher's Blade is pretty good. Plus, you could get it for free. This little hammer over here, the prototype sledge, does exposed, which is a decent debuff early on to decrease defenses. I always just find it to be comically small. When the agent uses it, it looks like a ball-peen hammer, despite the fact that when you see it in the store, it looks like it could be potentially more deadly than that. I would like to be using the Cryotonfa to go with the rocket pistol, but unfortunately there's a little bit of a bug. After you're done researching it, it does not wind up showing in the store. And hopefully, see, as you can see here, I've already researched it, but it's not available in my store, so there's a bug that I hope gets fixed. And again, part of the reason why the public does not have beta 6 as of yet. So thank you for stopping by Thursday Night Fights, even though it is about a day late. I hope you enjoyed seeing what a more even PvP experience would be. In 5.9 right now, I'm really outclassing the PvP teams I go against, but here it is on paper supposed to be a little bit more even, but as you can see, that rocket pistol and Doctor Strange were doing a ton of work. And to be honest, that's fair. There is nothing unfair about my setup whatsoever. I don't even have a 4th slot unlocked yet, so it is pretty balanced. All right, folks, hope you have a great weekend. I will see you Tuesdays and Wednesdays over on Twitch. A link to the Facebook group and the Discord server are down below. For Twitch, just find me there, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Stop by, and we can certainly talk about the progress of Beta 6 and everything, and I can give you guys any updates that I have. But as of yet, there is no ETA. And in order to gain access to the beta testing set, well, like myself and some others, you have to win the contests that are out there. Have a good one, everybody.